Welcome back, nerds. Having a painting channel means you're contractually obligated to paint this guy. So let's watch Chris try not to screw up painting Batman.
Shelf candy!
Oh look, he's also painting a couple of these busts to give away. Keep watching for instructions on how to win one. So this is absolute Batman. And Chris absolutely prepped and primed the model already, and now he's absolutely gonna start with the face. As usual, Chris is gonna base it with squid pink. He's going for complete coverage of the exposed breathing and eating holes, paying special attention to the corners of the cowl by the cheeks and under the nose. He's missed those in the past, and they look muddy if you display the model up high. And now, to define the facial volumes, Chris will paint from the bottom the areas that would be in shadow with Warlord Purple. Get excited, because when this is done, there's only 4 more steps to go for this tiny-ass bit of exposed skin. Now it's time for the actual skin tones.
Shelf candy!
Starting with base flesh and diluting its brains out with a 1-to-1 ratio of thinner. Chris will now slowly build this up, lightly hitting the whole surface while trying to preserve some of the underlying pink and purple values. Spend a little time here. You want to dull that chroma, not remove it. Now, with a brighter skin tone like this natural flesh, focus broadly on the upward and front-facing surfaces. Then for the highlights, like the previous steps, dilute the shit out of this. Notice Chris reorients the model to ensure this is deposited only on the most upward-facing surfaces. Then our best friend, Orcish dermis, diluted. Just lightly mist this on, starting from the undersides, to reintroduce some saturation and unify the whole scheme. The time is upon us, when we break the 7th seal upon the vault of heretical armaments and unleash Silly Putty. Using thin strips, start covering the face. Be absolutely sure to get it into the corners. You don't want any overspray getting in and ruining all your previous work. To help with precise application, Chris uses the Shelf Candy Deluxe Silly Putty Adjustment and Removal Tool. You can still find these on Amazon. Chris recommends the 12-pack bundle. Get yours today. Just magnificent. All right, now that that's done, let's re-blacken the cowl. Simply cover the overspray from painting the skin. Be thorough here. Overspray has a nasty habit of sneaking into areas that you discover later. Failure to catch these will cast shame and dishonor upon your family. Now for the lighter parts of the costume, use a dark gray like this and paint all the upward and front-facing surfaces, just like you would a zenithal. Chris is focusing his attention on the areas that will be this lighter gray material. He will come back later to deal with the other details, like that weird-ass bat symbol. Now to add more volume, Chris is going to mix a light blue into the dark gray and paint a highlight over the same areas. Mixing paint like this may seem advanced, but it's not. And if you screw it up, all you have to do is completely start over. If you're worried, a simple hack is just add 30% of the lighter color to the dark color. That way, you can slowly add more of the lighter color with successive coats as you pussyfoot your way to a more professional finish than Chris. Now, using this concrete and mixing it 50-50 with hemp, Chris is going to paint the stone plinths of these giveaway busts. Chris is just going to feather this warmer gray into the cooler gray of the costume, so there's a smooth transition between the stone and the Batman. Now for the plot device, I mean the utility belt. If you grew up with this guy like I did, you know this thing is some sort of pocket universe that contains every conceivable tool Batman needs for any situation. Well, Chris is gonna paint said belt with this pale burnt metal. Then I'm gonna tell him it looks stupid, then he will give it a light yellow candy coat. Then I will tell him that it looks a little better. Then he will move on. Ooh, look at this. What a fancy base. Let's paint it. And let's use the pale burnt metal from the plot device belt for continuity. I mean, what else would you use to paint the most over-engineered stairs I've ever seen? Where do you get stairs like this? The future? Anyway, this is boring. Let me try to dig up some fun facts about absolute Batman. Yep. That can't be right. Huh. Well, no shit. Get this, nerds. Did you know? It's common knowledge that Batman's secret identity is John Wayne. But what might surprise you is that in the absolute universe, he is not a billionaire. In fact, and this is stupid as hell, all his enemies, well, those are all his best friends now. Like seriously, the alligator guy, the penguin dude, that cat lady, those are his friends. Chris says, and I quote, "That's kinda neat." But Chris is also a moron who paints dolls on the internet.
Shelf candy.
All right, let's dry brush these tactical action pants using neutral gray and a really dry brush. Let's get down. Once you're confident there's no streaking, you can aggressively get down. Now let's uncork the magic Tamiya panel liner and start boosting the contrast on these edges. It's worth noting, Chris already applied a gloss top coat to the belt. This improves the ability for the liner to flood into all the nooks and crannies. Give it a few minutes to dry, and you can clean up any oopsies with a Q-tip dipped in enamel thinner. Now let's dry brush some detail onto all the black parts. You want this to be subtle, so don't aggressively get down on this step. But something you should get down on is that like button, and subscribe and leave a comment too, unless you're scared, in which case you should do it anyway.
Do it!
Conquer your fear. Certainly don't let the Toledo Painters Guild frighten you into pathetic, cowering submission. Time for the moment of truth. Silly putty. Never fails. Just paint the inside edge of the cowl with a little black and it's done. And don't put that black away just yet. We have to clean up his outside of his pants underwear. Obviously, outie undies are a tactical crime-fighting necessity. Keep that in mind if you're planning on switching jobs. Now, same treatment on the shoulder pads. And while we're here, let's talk about this bat symbol. Did you know? The bat symbol has gone through countless iterations. John Wayne has his own marketing agency, but in this universe, he used an outside agency, and it shows. This new symbol, it reminds me of something. Such stripped-down brutalism. There's something about it. I just can't put my finger on it. But Chris has made a prediction of what he thinks the next symbol will be. Behold! Isn't it magnificent? He's an artiste. All right, let's get back to that base. Oof. Well, looks like we have some lame-ass masking to do. While Chris does that, we shall all pay tribute to his legion of handsome genius warriors. For without their support, this dumb channel would wither and die. Bow your heads.
Oh yeah! Like this video. Leave a comment and subscribe. Share it far and wide. Do it! Give it to me, baby! Do it, motherfucker!
So now that Chris is done masking the raised side rail things, he's gonna paint them with this all-clad gold titanium to break up the material types so it's not just a monolith of metal. This will add some visual interest, or so he says. I personally don't think it's enough variation, and since Chris is now reaching for the candy golden yellow, he must agree. Once this is done, we're gonna immediately unmask it. You like that, don't you, Glenn? Fucking ass punk motherfucker. Perfect. Now, using an assortment of various baby poop tones, Chris will paint the rocks. Just sloppily blend all the colors directly on the model. For those of you wondering, yes, this is a heretical technique, but it's a minor Class 9 heresy. The Toledo Painters Guild won't banish you for this. They'll merely cut off a toe, or a small part of your nose, or an eyelid or something. They let you choose. Time to wash the whole base. And like I've mentioned before, the intended result of applying a wash is to make something look shittier. And pointing out this irony will be considered blasphemy and absolutely lead to your expulsion from the Toledo Painters Guild. Just slop this around and then dab most of it off. This will add a blotchy layer of cruddy filth that will get us one step closer to perfect shittiness. See, it's shittier now. Now that the wash is dry, let's pop the rocky edges with a quick dry brushing. Chris is mixing a light gray into the baby poops he used for the rocks. This should provide adequate contrast now that they've been darkened by the wash. Hear me, nerds. To win the doll you see before you, I have contrived a malevolent trial to determine who is most worthy. I call the challenge engagement bait. Oh yes, Chris indeed thinks this idea is fucked up, so we're doing it. All you must do is comment on this video the correct amount of times I said any derivation of the word absolute. Whosoever comments the correct answer first shall be proclaimed the victor. Good luck to you all, and may God have mercy on my soul. It's time for the final details. Arming himself with gunmetal, Chris will absolutely be starting with Batman's knuckle dusters.
Chef Candy.
Here's the trick with these. You're gonna want to take your brush, dip it in the paint, then apply that paint to the area you want painted. Super easy. Then we can move on to his axe. Oh yeah, Batman has an axe in this universe. Pretty unique, right? It's actually the symbol on his chest. He can pop it off and attach it to a pipe he carries around. Anyway, Chris is just gonna dry brush it with that same gunmetal. Well, wait a minute. Aren't axes supposed to be sharp? This is really blunt, like hammer status blunt. Is it some kind of axe/hammer? Crazy. Where do people come up with this stuff? Using the same gunmetal, Chris is just gonna add a few accents to the plot belt utility device. Then it's time to move on to the cape. Well, it's not so much a cape anymore. It's called, the bat thumb. Which I mean it follows the put bat in front of everything convention. And it's the literal analog to actual bat anatomy. But it also, well, let's be honest, that sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous. But setting the absurd name aside, listen to the cool things these thumbs can do. Did you know? The bat thumbs are essentially additional limbs, and he can use them as such. For example, he can grab objects, including people. Additionally, they can throw stuff. They can even support his body weight. I mean, these things are incredible. Oh, but back to the painting. Chris is just dry brushing on the same anthracite gray he used on the cowl. Then he's just gonna paint the little thummy hook things with good old gunmetal. But guys, seriously, I can't stop thinking of how cool it's gonna be when he joins the Avengers. That's right, you heard it here first. Another toy leak, giving away key plot points for upcoming movies. Tell everyone you know. Look, I even have proof. See, says right there Avengers, and on the back. Told you. Batman. Ooh. Look, another big spoiler. Looks like the Scarlet Widow is coming back too. All right, one last thing. We're just gonna paint the eyes with some deck tan. No irises, no pupils. We're keeping it old school. This is not laziness. Then you all should absolutely go tell everyone about the Batvengers. Share this video with them so they believe you. All right, guys, I think it's done. Behold.
Shelf candy. Did you know the Batman's doc out now? Batman's doc out now. You got the undies on the outside, undies on the outside, baby. Batman's doc out now. Shelf candy. Did you know the Batman's doc out now? You got the undies on the outside, undies on the outside, baby. Shelf candy.
All right, I'm gonna go now. Subscribe. Fuckers!